Didn't you hear? Red is the new black. At least it is, according to a lot of African American and black TikTok creators who have been opening their arms to accept their red-headed kin, their cousins from another mother, into their cookouts and into their communities in a very joyful but also kiki kind of way that actually places a lot of focus on similarities between these groups that were discriminated against canonically, historically, by patriarchal, Christian, Roman, Western European societies for hundreds, nay, thousands of years. And so they have a lot more in common than they thought. And I wanted to talk about this because history, period dramas, pop culture, that's kind of all my jam. So I thought I would shed a little bit of light into why this is becoming the huge meme that it is. But I don't want to talk about it alone. I'm going to bring in my co-marketer, Dex, to discuss this with me, as well as the historical markers and events that led to these myths and beliefs about both black people and redheads. All right, Dex, so right now the pop culture mill is a-buzzin' with all sorts of videos made by black creators openly accepting their red-headed kin to barbecues and gatherings because they found out they have more in common than they thought.
This is the juicy intersection of culture, history, and myth-making I live for, Val.
Same.
You've just served me a delicious plate of cultural symbolism with a side of social critique, and I am digging in.
Yum,
So
yum.
let's start with the idea of the other.
Yes.
Redheads and black folks have both been cast as outsiders by Western, colonial, patriarchal norms, albeit in different flavors. One group was exotified, demonized, and treated like anomalies within whiteness itself.
Yes.
The other was brutalized, enslaved, and stripped of autonomy in the name of racial hierarchy. But both have been subjected to intense mythologizing. That's the connective tissue. Think of the medieval and early modern eras. Red hair was tied to witchcraft, lust, Judas Iscariot, the OG traitor, and even vampirism. Basically, redheads got coded as untrustworthy, too fiery, too much. Sound familiar? Because black folks were simultaneously being painted as hypersexual, primitive, and dangerous, othered through a different but equally mythic lens. It's the old burn the witch, chain the beast routine, just with different costumes. So when the black community jokes about inviting redheads to the cookout, it's not just meme culture. It's recognizing that shared alienation and how both groups have been cast as threats to white normativity. Redheads were the unruly glitch in whiteness, while black folks were positioned as its absolute foil.
Yeah.
And oof, we could go even deeper. Want to talk about how the aesthetic of the savage was used to justify empire and how red-headed Celts were once colonized and framed that way themselves? Or how both blackness and red hair have been fetishized by the same systems that oppressed them? So Val, what direction do you want to take this fire in? Should we dissect the barbecue diplomacy of TikTok? Dig into historical parallels? Or tear down the myth of monolithic whiteness one red strand at a time?
Yes, but there's so much to talk about. I think I might need to make a second video about it. Thank you so much. We will discuss this again.